Um, Hi, everybody. I'd like to give a presentation today about. First of all, I'd like to thank Titiana for the nice words, and I hope the presentation will make sense to you. It's all about management and the ways we manage our company. I've been in this business for 25 years, and we've been working on continuous improvement all the time. So I chose our last experience that we're applying for the past year, which is operational excellence. And I chose this topic because we really achieved a lot and had real performance improvement in performance in the company using the tools of operational excellence. So I wanted to give you an idea how we moved from using the word quality assurance, just the quality assurance models, the certificates, and going to the next step, which is the operational excellence now. My presentation will focus on giving the definition of operational excellence, then how we executed the system in our work, in our daily life at Arawise. And to operate, we had to do the strategy deployment, the performance management, process excellence, high performance work teams. So these are all the factors that helped us to apply the operational excellence process. First of all, I want to start by defining operational excellence. It's actually a status of continuous improvement. It is a philosophy more than a way of work. It's the philosophy of the company of ongoing efforts to improve the process and improve the service, and over the time, and not on a certain period. It's a continuous process. It's a mindset, actually, that embraces certain principles and tools to do outstanding performance and to achieve long-term sustainable growth for the company. This is the main definition of the word operational excellence, and you will notice the rest in the coming parts. Here is this graph shows how quality assurance and improvement standards goes on a line. You see, it's by time and years, it improves the way we work. But using the operational excellence methodology goes faster and achieves the same result in less time. Required to have operational excellence, we have to go through an integrated business execution system. We have to change the whole system to work on the way we work in the company. We have to have a strategy, we have to have performance management, then the process excellence itself, and how the performance of the team, the whole team, gets better. This is the four components, main components of operational excellence business execution, and this is how we applied it at Arawise. First of all, we started with having a strategy. Of course, we all have a strategy. And excuse me, I want to highlight here a very important point that people think that big companies use that. No, you can apply it even if you have 1 or 2 or 5-person team. You have to go through this process to achieve real excellence and go for the sustainable growth, which is the objective. Utilizing world-class techniques to achieve excellence. Of course, to achieve excellence in any field, we have to use certain techniques, and we'll show you how we went through this process. First of all, we have to have a strategy deployment that aligns and links the business strategy and execution. The strategy is the base, where we start. we think of doing the right things and not just things are done right. So doing the right things is very important. Here is how we start our strategy deployment. Phase A, we organize a process for our work. We do a state analysis of what's happening now in the company. And strategic vision elements, we put together the elements of our vision and then start set the strategic objectives of the company. From the objectives, we get into setting up our initiatives and tactics, and then start the implementation and review process. This is continuous and it flows. It's a process that goes on and keep going on all the time. It's not a one thing. So every time we implement and review our strategy, we go in and reorganize, add and remove bits and pieces from the strategy, and then go again into analysis and start applying it. So it's a continuous process, and that is very important that this process leads into the map. Have a look at this map on all its level. It's the strategy map form. This form, we have it in the company, and we started applying it, and it went very well. So the map form helps us. This, for example, is Arabized one. It helps in setting our financial strategy towards the customer, internal processes, learning, and how we handle everything. This strategy map form should be filled at the beginning and be all visited to have a look at it. You see, there are some standard things. Financially, every company should increase revenues, improve margin, customer, we should remain our customer, improve our brand. This is exactly how we are doing it, setting our strategy map. Coming out of this strategy map, we have the objectives and initiatives. So like if you look at the strategic objectives, you will find each of the ones we had on the map, and then some examples of the initiatives that we got out of the objectives. And these initiatives, we have owners for them, who in the company is the owner, and then we have the achievement, and we keep working on this tracker monthly and quarterly. We visit this map, and of course it helps us a lot while we're working with the standards like the ISO, others, but our internal map. We always have on the tracker our vision, our mission, our core values on top, so that whenever we set an objective or an initiative, it has to be getting along with the vision, mission, and the values. Of course, all the companies involved. Each department has their own tracker. Each team have their own tracker, and the whole company has their own tracker. So it's a very easy way to set these things at the beginning and keep revisiting them every time. The strategy deployment process, during working on it, we have to make sure that everything fits overall. A set of maps are very important with all the details. Everybody is involved on it, and every team have their own. Then we come to the next step, which is the performance management. As long as you have a strategy, then you start on the translating it into initiatives as we showed you in the tracker, and have our objectives. And very important part is measuring. As long as we are getting into processes and building our strategy, having our objectives, measuring the performance is very important. So how we measure is really a critical part of the process. We use balanced scorecards to do the math. Of course, there are different tools, but one of the most important tools that we depend on is the balanced scorecards. It helps us to focus on the strategy execution, to align the goals with the objectives, to work on measurement, performance, how to communicate, how to put the priorities, and of course it helps the team to understand the focus. It's very important to have the whole team. As I said before, operational excellence is all about, it's a mindset. So the mindset and the culture of the whole company should be getting along. Everybody should understand and go through the whole process and put their input so that they can be part. So this is how that lots of people know the balanced scorecard. Some people think it's a complicated process and it's only for big companies. It's even, I assure you, it's even for one person, it should be done like that. The performance management for each objective on the strategy map, you need at least one KPI. So KPIs are very important because these are the ones that helps us to measure and manage our objectives and our initiatives. And then, why is this one done? What can be done better? For example, the language department, if we use the language department, and you all have this, I chose an example that applies to all of you. We have efficiency, the quantity, the units translated as per assigned level. Every translator, reviewer has their level and there has assigned level. This is how we measure efficiency. Also effectiveness, quality of translation, and of course we have all guidelines and we have our own models that we use. So these are two examples of the KPIs we use for the language department. Then comes the third part of the system, which is process excellence. It's management, value chain, support process. They should all be designed efficiently and effectively. We use to achieve the process excellence tools. The lean methodology is one of the tools, and of course the lean methodology is very well for maximizing the value. The systematic and scientific problem solving, the process of problem solving, how we find we know the problem, how we start thinking of solving it, how to we cut it down, and we think the corrective action and the preventive action. So we need systematic scientific thinking and the Six Sigma methodology. Six Sigma is really one of the very successful tools that we've used a few years ago, and we were depending mainly on it for some time, where we measure, analyze, and then control, analysis and control. So this Six Sigma we have at Arabwise, we have people who are Six Sigma Green Belt certified and Black Belt certified, and they found it very interesting. When we started applying Six Sigma in our quality improvement process, it was a new concept, and we're all happy having it. Also, we used the Kaizen, we used so many things, but now currently we are focusing on these three tools. DMAC is a very important factor that I mentioned now, and it is both in the Lean and Six Sigma processes. It's defining, measuring, analyzing, and controlling the processes. This, of course, I'm sorry, I missed the improvement, the I. So we define, then we measure, then we analyze and improve, and see how to improve and put the right controls. So this process really helped us to achieve the Lean and the Six Sigma, and at the end, achieve our excellence. We focused on a flow system, a workflow system that eliminates any waste. So, for example, if we do revision again and again, so it's a waste. We have to eliminate the waste and find out the right percentage or the right process of doing revision or doing the files without any waste. Also, understanding and eliminating the variations. It's very important that we put a system and fix it and have a process that has no variations. Every time doing the same job, we're doing it in the same way. So understanding and eliminating the variations in the process is very important. This is another way to achieve excellence. And excellence, of course, is cutting cost, optimization of the process. Then we come to the last step, which is sustain the right attitude, the right mindset, and the right competencies. This is the high performance work team. We have to work on the whole team to be performing or highly performing. So again, as I started at the beginning, it's a mindset. How we push or how we convince the whole team to be part of the process and to perform in the best way. I believe in this very much. It's the rate which organizations learn may become only sustainable source of competitive advantage. Competitive advantage at some time was quality, was quantity, was experience. But honestly, after being in the market for 25 years, competitive advantage is the rate at which any organization is learning. We are developing ourselves and learning at this time when so many factors are changing around us, the way we are working, what's coming in the future. Honestly, I find it very valid. It's the rate of the organization learning process is the competitive advantage of any organization. High performance work teams are really the core asset of the company, especially in our field. We need to focus on the teams, on their learning process, high emotional intelligence, shared goals, learn and develop, self-development, the willingness of the team to learn more and more, how to build leaders. Building leaders, each and everyone should be a leader, and we shift the roles in the team all the time so that everyone has a chance to lead, to be a leader, and to be keen on self-development. Honestly, I think that operational excellence at end goal is perfection. I know that some people do not like the word perfection, but we always have to look for perfection, work for perfection. And perfection is not what we see as perfect. It's what the client wants. The client really, we need to find what exactly, if you work perfectly, you're working up to the client expectations. So when we work, all of us, for perfection, we are having a process that is exactly what is needed. There is nothing to take away from it. We need a process, we build a process that suits and fits our needs, and there is nothing to add more. We shouldn't worry about what to add, but when there is nothing to take away from it. That's it. I hope it has been of benefit. We really achieved a lot this past couple of years with the process, with applying operational excellence. And during the work from home and all the things that happened this past few months, I was really happy that I was able to make use of this and have our work model going perfectly without any problems. So I thought to share it with you today. It may be beneficial for any questions. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Manal. It's such a pleasure to see such a well-organized structure for the company. I wish I always had that type of structure. Do we have some questions from the audience? We have some online questions.
Manal, thank you. Thank you for your presentation. I also liked the last phrase from Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. And I have a question. Do you believe that every goal or performance can be measured effectively?
Of course, it happens sometimes that we find challenges. I don't hear her. Do you hear me?
Yes,
we hear you very well.
Okay. It's sometimes challenging with some objectives. I know that. Most of the time, we can measure. But there are sometimes objectives that we work hard to find a measurement for. You can find a different way to measure it. Maybe not in a quantitative way, maybe in a qualitative way, maybe in the results, if it achieves the result or not. So I believe that sometimes there are objectives that cannot be measured right or very exact, but we can find a way to do it. We should try. It's challenging, but we should try to find it. It can be by measuring the results, the output.
Okay, thank you.
Hope I answered your question.
No questions from the audience? I have one small question. So it looks to me really like something very complex. So I just wanted to ask, whether this approach was really efficient now in probably, I think, changed situation, probably with less resources. So does it work in any circumstances, that approach with so many steps and actions?
Yes, Tatiana. Actually, we started working on this process maybe 1 year ago. And we had some resistance, of course. People resist change, and it seems complicated. When you come to reality, you will find that it is the normal way we're working every day. The only difference that we started doing, and we started eliminating some processes. So it worked very well because we eliminated a lot of waste. There are things that used to be, for example, 100% reviewed. Now it's not. It's maybe 50 or less percentage. So the waste is less. And and of course, it also pushed us to use tools, using quality tools, using more and more. So it pushes us to find better ways to do things. This is the most important, and it worked very well. And when we all at home, we are still working from home now, and an organization of almost 100 persons, and we're all working from home now. And the process helped to go and work in the right way and achieve the same results as if we're in office. It took us maybe kind of first 2-3 weeks a bit hesitant, but then afterwards the flow of work went very smooth, and things are doing very well that we're not thinking of going back to office anytime soon. It's the group mindset and culture. They have to try and find it. You will find that the whole team is using the same processes.